Hello, students. Today we are diving into a fun yet meaningful story from your English expert coursebook, Jatin Sandals. But wait, before we begin, are you someone who takes care of your books and shoes? If yes, that's very good. Or do you often misplace things? If yes, then this story might just be about you. Let's begin reading it together. Jatin's father got him a new pair of sandals and warned him, "If you tear your sandals this time, you shall wear them torn." So, Jatin's father got him a new pair of sandals and warned him strictly that if you tear your sandals this time, you shall wear them torn. That's serious. Do you think Jatin will take care of his sandals next time? Let's see. Jatin was a careless boy. He needed a new pair of shoes every month. His clothes always tore after a few days' wear. All his books had torn covers and his slate had a crack from top to bottom. Slate is a writing board used by students long ago. So it also had a complete crack from top to bottom. His books had torn covers. His clothes always tore just after wearing for a few days. Another of his bad habits was to chew the ends of his pencils. Imagine. They had come to look like groundnut shells because of the constant chewing. Constant means continuously he's chewing the ends of his pencils, and what are they looking like? They look like groundnut shells. When his class teacher saw them, he asked, "Don't you get proper meals at home that you are chewing your pencils?" Moving on to the next paragraph. On the first day after his father's warning, Jatin climbed down the stairs slowly. He crossed the raised door frame carefully so that he didn't stumble. But after a few days, he was his old self again. Before a month was gone, his sandals were torn along the front. Now let's look at the meaning. Stumble means trip and almost fall. So Jatin is really careless. His clothes tore quickly, his books had damaged covers, and worst of all, he chewed the ends of his pencils. And what do we see in this paragraph? That at first, Jatin was careful. He walked slowly, avoided stumbling, but as expected, he soon went back to his careless ways. And guess what? His new sandals tore again. Let's read. His mother advised, "Call a cobbler and get them mended in time, or else they will be finished." There was only one thing that Jatin cared for, his kite. He would carefully patch and mend any kite that caught his fancy. Caught his fancy means caught his attention. When he was out flying kites, he would even forget about his meals. Meal means food. So his mom advised him, call a cobbler before it's too late. Cobbler means a person who mends shoes. But Jatin didn't care. He was only careful about one thing, his kite. He could forget meals, but never his kite. Isn't that just like us forgetting homework but never missing cartoons or games? Alright, moving on to the next paragraph. One day Jatin was rather scared after returning home from school. He had torn his new clothes while climbing a tree. His sandals were also beyond repair. But these thoughts vanished from his mind as he climbed down the stairs to go outside and fly his kite. As expected, he jumped down 3 steps at a time. One sandal ripped open. Ripped open means tore completely. When he jumped over the last 3 steps, something strange happened. The ground underneath his feet slid away, and his torn sandals whisked him into the sky. So one day, while jumping down the stairs, boom, his sandals ripped, and something magical happened. He was whisked into the sky. What do you think is going to happen next? Let's see. When the sandals dropped him to the ground, Jatin saw that he had reached a strange place with cobblers sitting all around. When they saw Jatin, they came and took off his shoes and started brushing off the dust carefully. One among them, a kind of leader, said to Jatin, "I hear that you are very naughty. Look at what you have done to your sandals. They are nearly dead." Having regained his nerve by then, Jatin asked, Does a shoe have a life that you say it's nearly dead? Of course, the man replied. When you run with your shoes on, you think they aren't hurt. That is why they squeak. When you were rushing down the stairs, you sliced its sides. That is why you are here. We are in charge of the things that belong to all the boys nearby. When they do not take proper care of their things, we teach them how to. The cobbler handed him back his shoes and said, Take it, start mending. Jatin was furious. I do not mend shoes. Cobblers do that, he cried. The cobbler smiled and said, It's not so easy to get away, my friend. Here, take the needle and the thread. Jatin felt a little afraid. But I don't know how to stitch, he said. The cobbler replied, Don't worry, I will teach you. So here we see that he has landed in a strange place full of cobblers. They cleaned his sandals and told him, Look how badly you treat your things. They handed him a needle and thread and said, Now you must mend them. So Jatin was scared and refused, but they didn't let him go. What would you do if you were suddenly taken to a land where everyone repairs shoes and clothes? So, here in this part of the story teaches us a lesson about self discipline and responsibility. Alright, moving on to the next page. The cobbler was patient and Jatin slowly learnt. The needle pricked his fingers, his neck hurt from bending over the shoes too long. After a day's struggle, he had completed only one sandal. He pleaded, he requested, Can I do the other one tomorrow? Because he's so tired. The needle is pricking his fingers and his neck is also hurting. What do you mean? The cobbler said. Unless you complete your work, you can't stop. Once you finish the other sandal, you will learn to walk properly so that you don't torture your shoes again. Then you must go to the tailors to stitch your clothes. Imagine. Tears rolled down Jatin's eyes as he started to repair the second one. Thank God this one wasn't so badly torn. So he's trying to stitch, but oh, it hurts. He struggled, bent over all day, and could only repair one sandal. And now there is next task waiting for him. What is it? Stitching his clothes. Coming to the next page. Next, the cobblers took him to a five-storied building. He was made to climb the staircase one stair at a time to the top. If he took more than one stair at a time, he had to come down and start again. Oh, it was hard for Jatin. Walking slowly now, he reached an open field where tailors sat stitching clothes. Seeing Jatin, they asked, What have you torn? They looked at his dhoti and shook their heads. Oh, you have torn a good part of this. Start stitching, quick. What is dhoti? Dhoti is the cotton material tied around the waist by men. Jatin dared not refuse. He took the needle and thread and began to stitch. He had only pierced through the cloth twice when the tailors cried, Is this what you call stitching? Pierced means passing the needle through the cloth. Start over, start over. After a while, Jatin begged, I am hungry. Take me home. I shall never tear clothes or shoes again. The tailors laughed. Are you hungry? They asked. We have many of the things you like to eat. So he had to stitch his torn dhoti. He pierced the cloth clumsily and even asked to go home, but the tailors just laughed. Coming to the next page. They brought him some pencils. You like to chew pencils, don't you? Eat these. We have nothing else. Tired and hungry, Jatin soon fell asleep. Just then, something swished across the sky. It was the kite that Jatin had patched. It whispered to him, I have come to help you. You have taken good care of me. Hold on to my tail. Jatin reached up and held on tightly to the colorful tail of the kite. So finally, the kite he had patched before came to rescue him. It whispered, You have taken good care of me, I'll help you. Isn't that magical? The only thing he took care of came back to save him. They went up into the air with a whoosh. Hearing the sound, the tailors came running, but he was too high up. Then, all of a sudden, Jatin and the kite began to fall out of the sky. Just as he was about to hit the ground, Jatin woke up with a jolt. Jolt means sudden movement. He found himself lying at the bottom of the stairs with a terrible pain in his head. The kite was beside him. Jatin was ill for a few days. After he recovered, his mother would say, "Ever since he fell down the staircase, my son has become very weak. He doesn't rush or jump up and down stairs any longer. How else can his shoes last for 4 months?" But the truth was that Jatin had not forgotten the lesson he had learnt from his visit to the land of cobblers and tailors. So when Jatin woke up, he had a painful jolt. He was lying near the staircase, bruised but wiser. His mother noticed he never jumped downstairs again, and his shoes lasted 4 months. And you know what the truth was. So, what is the moral of the story? Take care of your things, don't be lazy, and small careless acts can lead to big troubles. Now, let's look at the exercises. Question number 1. Number the sentences to arrange them in the order of events in the story. Alright, so you have to arrange the events. What is the strategy? You have to use the time clues like at first, then, finally. So read all the sentences, okay, and then sequence them. So let's check the sequence in which things happened in this chapter. If you read all the options, you will see first father warned him, then at first Jatin was careful, then he forgot the warning, he slipped, went to the land of cobblers and tailors, he was offered pencils, and in the end, Kite rescued him. All done? So these are the answers. This is the correct sequence. You can pause the video and check it again. Moving to the next question. Now I'll be giving answers one by one. Answer the following questions in brief. Do not just copy these answers. Use your own brain. Okay. Jatin was a careless boy. Give two examples from the story to support this statement. So I'm sure you can easily give the examples. Jatin did not take care of the things he owned. He needed a new pair of shoes every month and his clothes always tore after a few days of wear. These instances show that he was a careless boy. Next question. Why was Jatin scared after returning home from school? So you all know he was scared of his father. And why? Let's answer. Jatin was scared after returning home from school because he had torn his new clothes while climbing a tree and his sandals were also beyond repair. He knew that this would make his father angry. So that is why he was scared. Question 3. Explain the strange incident that took place when Jatin was climbing down the stairs. So I'm sure you all know the strange incident. Okay. When Jatin was climbing down the stairs, the ground under his feet slid away and his torn sandals took him into the sky. When the sandals dropped him to the ground, Jatin saw that he had reached a strange place with cobblers sitting all around. Next question. Why did the cobblers take Jatin to a 5-storied building? Answer will be the cobblers took Jatin to a 5-storied building to teach him how to climb the staircase properly. He was made to climb the staircase one stair at a time. If he took more than one stair at a time, he had to come down and start again. Alright. Question number 5. Who came to help Jatin in the land of cobblers and tailors and why? Very easy. The kite that Jatin had repaired came to help him in the land of cobblers and tailors. Why? Because he had taken good care of the kite. Last question. What change did Jatin's mother notice in him after he fell down the stairs? Jatin's mother noticed change in him, right? What was that? She noticed that after the fall, Jatin did not rush or jump up and down the stairs. His shoes and clothes too lasted long as he took care not to spoil them. So these were the question and answers. Let's move to the next question. So this question says fill in the blanks with the given options. Options are given to you in the brackets. You may have to make some changes. One has been done for you. So like it is done in the first one, first we use mend and then patched according to the correct form of the verb. Alright. Coming to the question, second one. The officer dashed the envelope with a paper knife and dash it open. Tear and slit. You have to use the correct form of these verbs. Okay, so what will the answer be? The officer dashed the envelope. We need past tense again. So right answer is slit and tore. The officer slit the envelope with a paper knife and tore it open. Both will be in the past tense. Quick tip. Slit is already in past tense. It's the same in present and past. Okay. Now coming to the next one. Sentence 3. This gang dash banks and dash cash and jewelry. Your options are steal and rob. Now gangs usually do both steal and rob, but which verb fits where? What will it be? Yes, robbed the banks and stole cash and jewelry. So rob is often used for people or places, but steal is used for things. So this gang robbed banks and stole cash and jewelry. Coming to the next one. Sentence 4. As the athletes dash to the finish line, the crowd dash forward to see the winner. Your options are race and rush. So what will it be? Raced and rushed. Perfect. Athletes race. The crowd rushes to watch. Well done. Sentence 5. Tina dash her finger while dash a hole in the cardboard. Pierce and prick. It will be pricked and piercing. Yes, she pricked her fingers while piercing the cardboard. Okay. Next. He dashed on the doorstep and dashed down the stairs. Trip and fall. It's a double accident. Tripped and fell. That's it. He tripped on the doorstep and fell down the stairs. Alright, coming to the next question, you have to add ly to the words in the box. Look at these words. We'll add ly to make them into adverbs. Let's read each sentence and choose the correct word from the box. Sentence 1. The rabbit dashed jumped into a hole to hide from the hunter. Quickly, yes, rabbits are quick, so we add ly and say quickly. Sentence 2. The woman dash waited for the bus to arrive. She is waiting calmly without complaining, so we'll write patiently. Excellent. Sentence 3. The students read dash in the school library. Quietly. Perfect. A library is meant for silence. Sentence 4. Do you dash want to study music? My father asked. Really? This is a special one. Really means truly or seriously. Sentence 5. Did you hear the tigers roar? The tourist asked the forest guide dash. What will it be? Nervously. That roar must have been scary. Sentence 6. I dash return home by 6 p.m. It will be usually. This means you return home around 6 p.m. most days. So awesome students. Before we end, mini recap. Verbs show action. We use them in the past tense here. Adverbs tell us how something is done and we use ly to form them. Now next question. Fill in the blanks. Just look at the noun in the sentence and if it's a countable noun, then form the question with how many. And if it's an uncountable one, use how much. For example, for sugar, you can ask how much sugar. But for pencils, you will ask how many pencils. Easy, right? So first you have sacks. You can count sacks, right? So countable noun. We will write how many sacks do we need for the sack race? It's a countable noun. You can write C in the box. Okay. Next one. Dash sugar did you add in the milkshake? Sugar cannot be counted. So we will ask the question, how much? How much sugar? Third one. Dash money did mother save last year? Now you can do this on your own. It's uncountable. You can count notes or coins, but you cannot count money. Okay. How much money did mother save last year? Next, dash new stamps has Tina added to her collection? So stamps are countable. You will write, how many new stamps has Tina added to her collection? Dash cloth did you buy to make the curtains? How much cloth did you buy to make the curtains? Next one, mangoes, you can count them, right? So you will write C, and question will be, how many mangoes did the farmer pluck today? I hope this question is clear to you. Moving on to the last question. So in this question, you have to complete the words with LE, EL or UL. Okay, so which UL is correct? You have to choose the spelling, correct spelling. Okay, for example, TA dash dash. So what will come? Tale. Tale. Okay, tale means story. Now next is candle. Candle. What will be the correct spelling of candle? CNDLE. Next one, medal. MEDAL. Super easy, right? Now you can answer the rest of the parts quickly then. Towel, single, and bubble. Alright children, if this video helped you understand better, like this video, comment your answers and do not forget to subscribe the channel. See you. Bye bye. Thank you.